Hello everyone, this is Nicholas Guillermo with Activism Truth. This video is about California's ballot access solution and how the people of California don't need to be passive about corruption in their government. They should be more active. I have played a role in California for the last going on 8 years, working on ballot access campaigns, where I was one of the paid signature collectors working on very important initiatives, many of which were voted down by the majority of the voters in California because I think California's got a big problem, a major problem stemming from the fact that people don't trust initiatives due to the fact that some of them have been financed by corrupt interests. And unfortunately, not all Californians are able to think for themselves. And I know it has been a trend for Californians to simply vote no on all the petition initiatives they have seen, simply because they have this fear. They feel that citizens do not have the ability to make their own laws. California is recognized as having the fifth largest economy in the world. Yet, the state has the most budget cuts, more than any other state in the nation. All these cuts to education, to really all the services, to the police, the fire. You have this huge water problem. Southern California is about to run out of water. Um, you have cuts to really everything and the highest taxes. And if you think everything's just a-okay and you're a loyal Democrat, you got news coming to you because it's going to get a lot worse. And I understand the Republicans in the state are just equally as corrupt. I don't advocate either side. But one thing that is not going on in California is that people are not directly participating in their ability to become the lawmakers themselves. And there needs to be a kind of revolution of thought in California. It's the number one state in the nation for ballot initiatives. California has more initiatives than any other state in the country. And every year, there are so many initiatives on the ballot, people do tend to feel fatigued by it. But we need to start reading into these initiatives more, start looking into them. The initiatives that I worked on, every initiative I worked on, has been something that I truly believe in. And I've seen benefits from both the more liberal type of initiatives and more conservative type of initiatives. But a lot of initiatives can't even really be defined as liberal or conservative. They're just common sense solutions to the problems that both parties have created in the state. And I really hope that people snap out of this whole left-right paradigm, liberal-conservative, Democrat-Republican paradigm that they're in, where they feel that the other party is the criminal organization and that their party are the saints and angels, because it's not how it works. Both parties are complicit. Just look at gerrymandering, for example. Both parties participate in gerrymandering the districts together. Sometimes the Republicans use it for their favor. Other times the Democrats do it. They don't really want to compromise on fixing the problem themselves. It took a independent organization fueled by independent voters in the state to finally approve the Citizens Redistricting Committee, which I did play a role in. I also played a role in marijuana decriminalization and legalization. Just this last year, I worked on the labeled GMO foods bill. Back in 2006, I worked on the Clean Money Act to stop corporate lobbyist contributions to politicians. There's been a number of campaigns I've worked on. And, you know, the initiatives that are proposed aren't always the most important initiatives that could be proposed. So that's why I'm making this video, because I want people to join Activism Truth and become a citizen lawmaker yourselves. And among the members that join this organization I'm creating, we will ourselves vote amongst ourselves what the real top priority campaigns are, and then move forward to create those campaigns ourselves. California, top of line, absolutely needs a campaign for tangible ballots, and to have we need to get rid of any kind of possibility of voter fraud, to have ballots that are counted in front of voters at every community, in the public eye, so that we can stop all voter fraud. Because the Label GMO Food initiative very well may have failed because of voter fraud. There's a lot of evidence that points this out. Another thing we need to do in California is lead the way in the world in kind of like liberal type of politics and legalize industrial hemp. It's not really a liberal or conservative issue, but I think that more liberals tend to support this kind of idea. Just decriminalize all marijuana and all cannabis and legalize industrial hemp, and California will become wealthy because of it. We need to let all the nonviolent marijuana smokers out of jail, even after medical marijuana has been approved. The prisons in California are packed with medical marijuana smokers, or people that just use it recreationally yet are criminalized for it. When we all know that alcohol actually causes deaths and marijuana has not caused any in its history of its use, and is very beneficial. I mean, with the stress people face in California, working as hard as they do, with the highest taxes ever, marijuana is a heck of a lot better alternative to blow some steam than alcohol. So there is a campaign. I'm friends with the proponent of the Legalize Hemp campaign, and we need to get behind that. We also need to have a nonprofit banking system. This idea has been proposed in San Francisco, a city that could easily impose a citizens' initiative to let the voters decide on this. You see, the San Francisco politicians are very corrupt. Nancy Pelosi, for example, is a very corrupt politician, taking money from war contractors, yet claiming to be a peace-loving Democrat. It's all fraud. Okay. The idea has been tossed around by groups. The idea was actually filed by an individual I spoke with, and there's so much fraud in California government that what happened was he created the initiative for a state bank. It was filed with the Secretary of Elections, and then the Secretary of Elections actually manipulated the language so that the initiative literally said that even if it passes by a popular vote, it would still need the legislative approval to become law, which is ridiculous because that defeats the whole purpose of a citizens' initiative. Anything they could do to block real change from happening is taking place. Countless voter fraud goes on year after year. The Republican Party hires people to bait and switch voters to become Republican, and nothing is ever done about it. A fellow back in 2000 was arrested. His name is Mark Jacoby, for hiring people to commit this voter fraud. And some people have been arrested over the years, but the guy is put on parole. He broke his parole, and nothing was ever done about that, and is up to the same old shenanigans and actually gets contracts year after year by the Republicans, and they just continuously give these contracts out. Both parties are to blame here. And the people, if we don't step up and do this, we are to blame. We cannot blame anyone but ourselves. We have the right to citizens' initiative. We might as well use it ourselves. There is no other organization that I found that is organizing people for our own grassroots citizens' initiatives. So you should join Activism Truth. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, because when you become a part of this solution, we can reach a critical mass equivalent to what is 1 million voters in the state of California. It's 5% of the voters of the last election. And we can put any initiatives we want on the ballot practically overnight. And that will revolutionize politics in America. The people will become a legitimate fourth system of checks and balances. And that's what Activism Truth is all about. So go to activismtruth.com, subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can Skype with me directly. If you just had an hour a week, you could coordinate some efforts with me and others to strategize our search engine optimization for the website Activism Truth, and we can create improvements so that the word can really get out there. And if you share this with 2 people who share it with 2 more, and they share it with 2 others themselves, by the time of the next election, we'll have enough people organized. Just do the math. We can have all the people organized once we create this critical mass, and we can put as many initiatives on the ballot that we need, and we can stop all corruption in government. So investigate the solution yourself. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're watching this right now and you want to stop corruption in politics, you are the solution.